Jai Hind students, welcome to physics class of grade 12. I hope all of you are fine at your home. So after discussing the concept of capacitors, today we will discuss the combination of capacitors. Capacitors, they could be arranged in the parallel combination or in series combination. So we will discuss these combinations one by one. First of all, we will discuss combination of capacitors in parallel combination. So if capacitors are arranged in parallel combination, what will be their capacity? If capacitors are arranged in series, what will be their capacities? These concepts that we will discuss today. Now first of all, I am saying that capacitors are connected in parallel. What is the meaning of a parallel combination? Listen students, let us say we are having capacitors C1, C2, C3. These are attached to a source of EMF V, right? Why I am saying that C1, C2, C3, they are connected in the parallel combination? The reason is that whenever we are talking about the parallel combination, it means that there are multiple paths for the flow of charge. For example, we have connected C1, C2, C3 to a source of EMF. Then during the charging, what will happen? After coming to point A, charge will go to C1 and charge will go to C2 and charge will go to the C3. So there are various paths for the flow of charge. So that combination is called as a parallel combination. So what is a parallel combination? Parallel combination is one in which there are multiple paths for the flow of charge. If I say how many paths of flow of charge are there? There are three paths. 1, 2, 3. Right? And what is more speciality that you are seeing here? One more common feature of a parallel combination is that you are looking that this is parallel plate, this is parallel plate, this is parallel plate, and this is the positive plate, positive plate, positive plate. All these plates are connected to a common point. And this is negative plate of C1, this is negative plate of C2, this is negative plate of C3. All these negative plates are connected to point B. So you can define a parallel combination in another way, is that a parallel combination is one in which all the positive plates of capacitors are connected to common point and all negative plates are connected to another common point. Alright? So this is also the parallel combination. Now, since all these plates are connected to point A and point A is directly connected to the source of EMF whose voltage is V. So what will happen? I can say that potential at A is V. So I can say that potential of each and every capacitor is V. Right? Now, if let us say charge Q, a part of charge is used by C1, other part is used by C2 and remaining is used by C3. So I can say Q1 is the charge on each plate of C1 and Q2 is the charge on each plate of C2 and Q3 is the charge on each plate of C3. So what can I say? I can say that in parallel combination, potential remains same and charge gets divided. Potential remains same and charge gets divided. So I can say if Q is total charge Then what can I say? I can say that Q it equals to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. And what you have read? You have read that charge equals to CV. C is the capacity, V is the potential. If what is C? C is the equivalent capacity of combination. Then what can I say? Q equals to CV. And what is Q1? Q1 equals to C1V, because in this combination V is same whereas charge is changing. So I can write Q1 is C1V and Q2 it equals to C2V and Q3 it equals to C3V. So what you do? Put in 1. So let me put in 1. I can say CV equals to C1V plus C2V plus C3V. So you can see that V is common here. So I can write CV. Let me take V common. C1 plus C2 plus C3. This V is cancelled, so I can write C equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So this is the equivalent capacity of a combination when capacitors are connected in parallel. Alright? So what can I say? Not C is greater than C1, C is greater than C2 and C is also greater than C3. What does it mean? If I connect the capacitors in parallel, the resulting capacity will be more than the capacity of any of the capacitors. For example, if C1 is, let us say, 10 picofarad, C2 is 15 picofarad and C3 is 5 picofarad. What is the total capacity? C1 plus C2 plus C3, 10 picofarad plus 15 picofarad plus 5 picofarad. So it will be 30 picofarad. So total capacity is the 30 picofarad. And 30 picofarad is greater than C1. 30 picofarad is greater than C2, which in fact is 15 picofarad. And total capacity is greater than C3, which in fact is 5 picofarad. So this was the case of the parallel combination. Now combination of capacitors connected in series. So if capacitors are connected to a series combination, how the capacity of combination changes? Will it increase, decrease? So let us discuss this. Now, combination of capacitors in series. What we call the series? You have done the resistors in series in the same way. Let us say I am having a capacitor C1. This is another capacitor is C2, and let us say third capacitor is C3. If I say that these capacitors are connected in series, are these capacitors are connected in series? Yes or no? Yes. Why? Okay, let me define first of all series combination. Listen, series combination is the combination in which there is single path for the flow of charge. In earlier cases, what we have done, if this is one capacitor, this is another capacitor, This is, let us say, third capacitor. Let us say this is the fourth capacitor. Now, how many paths of the flow of charge? This is first path, second path, if it gives third path, fourth path. But here in this case, there is only single path. Along this path, along this route, charge can flow. Right? So, such a combination is called the series combination. What is series combination? Series combination is the combination of capacitors in which there is only single path for the flow of charge. So how can I define the series combination? Series combination is the combination in which there is only one path for the flow of charge. So let us discuss this. Let me tell it in detail. Combination of capacitors in series. Now listen students, let us say I am having a capacitor C1, there is another capacitor C2, and there is, let us say, 3 capacitors. You can take more than 3 also, 4, 5, 6, but 3 are sufficient for explanation. Now let us say these capacitors are connected to a source whose potential difference is V. Right? Now if I say that this point is A and this point is B, let us say during charging, charge comes here. Let us say there is single path, so I can say in series combination charge will remain same, because charge cannot flow by more than one path. There is only single path for the flow of charge. So this combination is the series combination. Now let us say that on this plate we are having plus Q charge, because of induction minus Q charge is here. Again here it is plus Q charge and here it is again minus Q charge, and here again plus Q charge and here again minus Q charge. Right? Now what is my target? My target is to find the total capacity in the series combination. So how can I find the total capacity in the series combination? It is very, very simple. Now what another point you can see is that series combination is a combination in which negative plate of one capacitor is connected to the positive plate of another capacitor, and again negative plate is connected to the positive plate, and so on. So you can say series combination is the combination in which negative plate of a capacitor is connected to the positive plate of second capacitor, and negative plate of second capacitor is connected to the positive plate of third capacitor, and so on. So that combination is also the say series combination. Okay, let me ask you a simple question. Let us say I am having these capacitors. Is this combination series combination or parallel combination? This combination is series. Why? Because there is single path. So that's why this combination is the series combination. I think the concept of series combination is clear. Now let me explain what is the total capacity of a series combination. Now listen students, in series combination charge remains same and V gets divided, right? So let us say this is V1, this is V2 and V3. Potential on C1 is V1, potential for C2 is V2 and potential for C3 is V3. Now total is V. So what can I say? I can say that V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Right? Now here you have read that charge equals to CV. Therefore V equals to Q by C. Now, so V1 it equals to Q by C1, V2 equals to Q by C2 and V3 equals to Q by C3. If V is the total potential, I can say it equals to Q over C, where C is equivalent capacity of combination. So if I say what is the total capacity of this combination, you will say C. So put in 1. So when you put in 1, what we get? We get that V equals to Q over C, it equals to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. So what is common here? In this, common is Q. So let me take Q as the common. 1 over C1, 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This Q get cancelled. So I can write that 1 by C it equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Now, if I check it out, that C is less than C1, C is less than C2, C is less than C3. So what I take? You take 3 capacitor, let us say 1000 picofarad. Another capacitor is 100 picofarad, and let us say one capacitor is having capacity of the 1 picofarad. If they are connected in series combination, what will be the capacity? 1 by C is 1 by 1000 picofarad, 1 by 100 picofarad, 1 by 1. So what will be its LCM? 1000. It is 1, 10 plus 1000. How much it will be? 1011 by 1000. So what is C? 1000 by 1011. This is even less than 1. And so I can say C is less than C1, less than C2 and less than C3. So in this way we can derive the expression for combination of capacitors in the series. Now let's do the combination. Let's do the expression for capacity of capacitors in mixed combination. So next is capacity of capacitors in mixed combination. What is the meaning of mixed? In which both series and parallel are present. How? Let us consider that we are having capacitors. Let us say all these capacitors are of equal capacity. How many capacitors in one line are there? Let us say I am having n capacitors, and we are having how many lines of these capacitor? Let us say m lines, and in each row. And how many rows do we have? We are having m rows. Let us say, right? And let us say this is the last one, that is the mth row. This is mth row, right? Third capacitor. And if we connect them, now clear? This is connected to a source of EMF V. Now C is the capacity of each capacitor. C is the capacity of its capacity is also C. So C is the capacity of each capacitor, right? My target is, what is the total capacity of this combination? Now, first of all, equivalent capacity of each row is given by, how can I find the equivalent capacity? In series, what was the formula? 1 by C equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. And how many are there? There are n. So I can say 1 over C, it equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. If there are n, I can write 1 by Cn. Now, since all capacitors are having same capacity C, as I assumed in the beginning, so how many these are? 1, 2, 3 up to n. So I can write NC. So what is the capacity of each row? Cs. It will be equal to C over n. Right? Now, how many rows are I am having? I am having m rows. So, equivalent capacity of given combination is Cp. I am assuming that now these all rows are in parallel, and in parallel what is that capacity? C1 plus C2 plus C3 up to Cn. So let us say this is capacity is, first is C by n, another row is having C by n, and how many these are? M rows. So I can say Cp it equals to m times C by n, right? This is the one way. Another way you can also attempt. Let us say, if it is not clear, there is another way of solving this, very simple way. Now I can say that how many capacitors are in each row? M. These capacitors are connected in series. So I can say that it appears I am having a single capacitor whose capacity is C by n. And how many rows I am having? I am having m rows. Right? C by n, C by n. This is the mth row. Right? Now, If I am having these capacitors connected in parallel, capacity will be added. So I can say that it is equivalent to this M C by M. Right? So both are correct. Right? Now after the capacitor combination, let's do the topic of energy of combinations of capacitor. What is the energy of combination of capacitors? Next is energy stored in combination of capacitor. What is the energy stored in combination of capacitors? Now let us say that first we will talk about the series combination. Series, C. What is in C? Series. What does the C means? In series there is C. It means charge. C for series and C for charge. So let us say I am having capacitors C1, C2, C3. These capacitors are connected in series combination. If they are connected in series combination, what will be same? Same will be C. C means charge. So I can say charge on each capacitor is Q. Let us say potential is V1, V2, V3. Now you have done three formulas of potential energy. 1 by 2 CV square. Another formula you have done half QV and Q square by 2C. My question is that which formula you will apply? Look, here series combination. In series combination, what remains the same? C. That is, charge remains the same. So I will apply this formula because in this formula C is constant but charge is remaining same. So I can use this formula. So what happens? Okay. So if C, what is C? Equivalent capacity of combination. What can I write? Potential energy of the combination, potential energy of combination, it will be equal to Q square by 2C. Right? So I can also write it as Q square by 2 multiplied by 1 by C. Can I write? So what can be written as Q square by 2, and what is 1 by C? 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 up to 1 by Cn. Since I am having the three capacitors, so let me write it up to the C3. Right? So I can say, open the bracket, Q square by 2C1, Q square by 2C2 and Q square by 2C3. If I ask what is the energy of first capacitor, you can say Q square by 2C1. What is the potential energy stored in second capacitor? You will say Q square by 2C2. And what is the potential energy stored in third capacitor? You will say Q square by 2C3. So I can say that U it equals to U1 plus U2 plus U3. So what does it mean? It means that total potential energy of combination of capacitors is equal to the sum of potential energy of each capacitor. If I add this energy, I will get the total energy stored in the combination of capacitors. Now, if I say about the parallel combination, let's take it. What happens if capacitors are connected in parallel combination? Let us say parallel combination. Now students, let us say this capacitor is C1 and I am having another capacitor C2. I am having another capacitor C3. Let us say these are connected to a parallel combination. It is C1, C2, C3. Now I know that in parallel charge does not remain the same. What remains the same? Potential remains the same. And what is charge of first? Q1. Its charge is Q2 and its charge is Q3. Now which formula can be applied? Here V is remaining same. So I will use this formula. Why I can't use this formula? Half QV. The reason is that in this formula, okay, in this combination V is same but Q is changing. So this formula cannot be applied. Choose a formula in which the quantities are constant. So if C is the equivalent capacity of the combination, then what can I write? I can write that this capacity it equals to half of C1 square, half of CV square. And what is the parallel capacity of a parallel combination? C1 plus C2 plus C3 V square. So I can write that half of C1 V1 square, half of C2 V2 square, half of C3 V3 square. And what is C1 V1 square divided by 2? It is potential energy of one, potential energy of second capacitor, potential energy of third capacitor. So I can see. So what does it mean? It means that if capacitors are connected in parallel combination or series combination, their energies are added to get the total energy stored in the combination of capacitors. Right? Now next is, there is a very interesting concept. What is that concept? Concept of common potential. Let us say common potential. What is the common potential? Let's do these topics, and after that we will do the numericals based on these topics. Now listen students, let us say we are having two conductors. One is conductor this, another one is conductor this. Its capacity is C1, its capacity is C2, its potential is V1, its potential is V2, its charge is Q1, its charge is Q2. If I connect it via conducting wire, what will happen? Charge will flow from one conductor to other conductor, from which it will flow whose potential will more. So I can say charge flows from higher potential to lower potential, higher potential to lower potential. If I say that if Q V1 is greater than V2, then I can say charge will flow from A to B. How long charge will flow? Till potentials of both the conductors are equal. Till potential of A becomes equals to potential of B becomes equals to V. So what is V here? V here is common potential. And what is the formula of the potential? Total charge divided by total capacity. Total charge divided by total capacity. Okay, what is Q1? C1 V1. And what is Q2? C2 V2. So what is the total charge? Q1 plus Q2. And what is total capacity? C1 plus C2. So what it will be? C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by C1 plus C2. So what this is the common potential if the conductors are connected to one another. So the flow of charge, it will not depend on their capacities, but it will depend on their potentials, right? So this is the expression for the say common potential. My question is, if I am saying that I have joined two conductors together, definitely if these conductors are charged, there might be some sparking, there might be some dissipation of energy. Is there any loss of charge? So what I am saying, let us say I am having two conductors, one is A, another one is B. Its capacity is C1, initially charge is Q1, potential energy is U1, C2, Q2, U2, potential V1, air potential V2. If I join them, what will happen? Is there any loss of charge? No, there will not be any loss of charge, but there will be loss of energy in the form of heat, in the form of sparking. And when you see the sparking, you see the light. So energy gets dissipated in the form of heat and light. And sometimes sound is also produced. So this is called the loss of energy. So topic is loss of energy on connecting on connecting two conductors by conducting wire. What is the loss of energy? Let's take it out. Is there any loss of energy or not? When we can say that there is loss of energy, if initial energy is more than the final energy. So let's check it out. If U1 is the potential energy before joining, so what is U1? Half C1 V1 square. And what is U2? Half C2 V2 square. Okay? Now, after connecting, what happens? Potential of V and B, it becomes equal to V. Alright? So what is V? And this V equals to, you have done C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by C1 plus C2. Right? And what is the potential energy? Let us say I am writing it as the UF, means the final potential energy. It is half C. C is the total capacity. V square. What is V? Common potential. So I can say half C is C1 plus C2 and V is C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by C1 plus C2 whole square. Alright? Now, you can see that if I solve this further, it can be cancelled by this. So its one power will be left. So I can write this expression as C1 V1 C2 V2 whole square divided by C1 plus C2 and 2. Let me check out any energy, loss of energy. I am assuming this is loss of energy. Loss of energy means initial energy minus final energy. What is initial energy? U1 plus U2. What is final energy? UF. What is U1? Half of C1 V1 square, half of C2 V2 square. And what is UF? Minus C1 V1 plus C2 V2 square divided by twice of C1 plus C2. Right, students? Now let's solve this. Okay, it will be lengthy, but we have to solve this. We don't have any other option. What will be LCM? 2C1 plus C2. Simply multiply this. First C1. Let's say, let me multiply C1 plus C2 with C1 V1 square. C1 square V1 square. And what will be second term? C1 C2 V1 square. And what is second term? Plus C1 C2 V2 square. And what is the second term? C2 square V2 square minus, let me open the square, C1 square V1 square plus C2 square V2 square plus 2C1 C2 V1 V2. Just simply A plus B whole square. It will be A square plus B square plus 2AB. I have used this. Now what are the common terms? C1 V1 square. Let's cancel that. It will be simplified. So I have to write lesser terms here because negative sign is there before brackets. Now I can write it as C1 C2 V1 square plus C1 C2 V2 square minus 2C1 C2 V1 V2 divided by 2 C1 plus C2. What is common? C1 C2 is common. I can write C1 C2 bracket start V1 square plus V2 square. C1 C2 V1 square, C1 C2 V2 square, C1 C2 V1 V2 minus 2 V1 V2 divided by twice of C1 plus C2. What is this formula? A minus B whole square. So I can write that loss of energy, this loss of energy equals to C1 C2 V1 minus V2 whole square divided by twice of C1 plus C2. Now this term is always positive. Why positive? Capacity is always positive. This is the square, and square of difference is also positive. So what does it mean? It means there will be always loss of energy, but there will not be any loss of charge. Right? So what is the note? Note is, so I can say there is loss of energy in the form of heat, light, and second is no loss of charge. But I am saying that before connecting them, charge of the system is Q1 plus Q2, and after connecting, the charge of system is again Q1 plus Q2. Right? So that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.